What's up, Wave Healer Nation? Welcome back. We took a nice long break. We are starting a brand new chapter in Tsunami Healing, and I'm very excited because we have our first guest, part of the kind of new chapter moving into YouTube. And I'm very excited. I feel like when I first was introduced to this person, like we've known each other already. Like at some point, we should have already crossed paths, but we haven't. But here we are today. And I'm very thankful and excited that we have some time to spend together. So please welcome to the show, Sammy Kokola. Sammy, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Yes. So, Sammy, you are an actor. As far as I
Hmm.
know, you're a writer, producer. You have a
Yes.
big project coming up that we're going to get into. You were also a scare actor.
Hmm.
And I feel like we like a lot of the same things and we have a lot of mutual friends. So, just starting out, tell us where you're from and kind of how you got into acting.
Yeah, sure. So originally I'm from Indiana. Now I live in LA, live in the dream.
Hmm.
But I first got started in acting, I guess, in high school, just, for fun, doing plays and musicals. Went to college. I minored in theater. And then I decided to move out here, not initially for acting, just because, I really like it.
Hmm.
Um, but I was bored. so, so I signed up for classes because I was like, you know what, I really like that, and it was a really fun hobby. So I'm going to sign up for acting classes, and here I am, a few years later, and acting, writing, producing, and doing the thing.
Yeah, and we both went to the Actors Studio of Orange County right here in Santa Ana. Sammy actually graduated, I think, a year or two before I did, which is maybe why
Hmm.
we never met at that time. But we have a lot of mutual friends there. And so also, Sammy and I did share the same manager at Forever Icon Talent Management. Shout out to Heidi. And she has since moved on to broaden herself, but that's kind of how we got connected here. So how did what was that experience like for you, real quick, before we move on? Just being a part of the studio and then meeting Heidi, and now, like you said, just out there, even broadening yourself even more.
Yeah. So the acting studio of Orange County, shout out to Sonia too. She was my mentor and coach for most of it.
Hmm.
And that is where I started. Like, I haven't really been anywhere else because I felt like I didn't need anywhere else. It's just a really great studio.
Hmm.
Um, so going through it, it is tough and challenging, and it really like works your inner being, and you kind of find out who you are in the process. Well, I mean, at least I did,
Hmm.
and I'm so much better for it as a person, and also an actress too.
Hmm.
But I actually met Heidi. I saw one of her posts for an open call for potential representation, and I was like, you know what, why not? I sent my stuff in. We met. She's great. I
Hmm.
love her. She really helps actors out in making sure your materials are marketable. They're all set in stone, and I owe her so much. She's amazing. So shout out to Heidi too.
Yeah. So really cool. So this kind of all led up to this big independent film that you're working on now,
Hmm.
Wayward Sisters. So I was really excited when I heard about this. So please tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I okay, first I guess it started with horror fan films. So
Hmm.
I first started in My Special Boy Friday 13th fan film.
Hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I did not know that this was a thing, these fan films.
Hmm.
And I've been thinking about doing like a fun supernatural film for a while now. I just didn't have the means to do it.
Hmm.
And I guess this is why networking is important, because now I know people who can help me and I can help them with future projects. So the same people who brought you My Special Boy are also helping me with Wayward Sisters. So this is a fan film based off the TV show Supernatural, which ran for 15 seasons. It was highly successful.
Hmm.
Instead of two brothers, it follows two sisters. And it definitely has some Easter eggs from the show that any fan is going to notice, which I'm really excited for when people watch it.
Hmm.
And so I guess the premise of it is you have one sister, Wilder, who's the youngest. she continued hunting, but she's come across these weird occurrences that are happening in northern Indiana. Mm-hmm. She cannot figure it out. So she has to go to her estranged older sister, Sutton, who's off at school, and ask for her help. These two end up getting together and trying to figure it out, but they realize that they're in for way more than they bargained for. Yeah.
Sorry, hold on one second before we get, because there's a lot to break down here. Yes. Before we go further, shout out to your friends and your the people that developed My Special Boy. It is free on YouTube if you want to go watch it. Just type in My Special Boy, you can watch it. I recently watched it. Sammy does have a supporting role in it, and dude, you took a freaking axe to the chest like your character did. I was like, holy crap, that's so awesome. But yeah, if you're a fan of the Jason character like myself and a lot of other people, go check it out. It's really cool. Sammy, that led to you. You wrote this film, Wayward Sister. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Or yes,
I did. Yeah. Interesting process. I've never written anything in my life in terms of like a movie script.
Yeah.
But you know, my friends encouraged me. You're like, you know what? Why not? What do you have to lose? And I said, you're right. So I was actually on a train ride from Indiana. This is when like airline prices were insanely crazy last year. So I took the train back. It was 2.5 days. There's no Wi-Fi on the train. And I was like, you know what? Now's the time. So I wrote the entire outline for the script, the whole storyline during that train ride. And then when I got back, I wrote the script in 2 weeks.
And you, like you said, you had never written anything before and didn't have any idea how to do it. It just came out of you.
Yeah, no idea. I was just kind of going off of reference points of, you know, dissecting a script, you know, from the studio. And then also having some mentorship with some of my friends from My Special Boy who really helped me out with the layout. But really, this whole storyline and everything just came from a train ride.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love that. And just real quick to go off on a little side note, I have really been enjoying fan films myself because, as you guys know, we go to a lot of Comic-Cons, a lot of conventions with Tsunami Healing. And recently, a friend, an acquaintance of mine, Nate Lyles, shout out to him, he just did a Constantine fan film. And one of our friends and previous guest from the show was a part of the movie. She was one of the makeup artists, Kat Tanchenko. And I got to go see their premiere at Comic-Con, at LA Comic-Con, which was just recently. And it was so cool just to see my friends who Nate had directed, I believe, and wrote the whole thing. And Kat was a part of the makeup who brought one of the main characters to life as an artist. And then I meet Sammy. And Sammy's like, oh, I wrote this whole fan film. And I was like, Sammy, I have so many ideas. Let's talk about it. So you were inspired by taking a trip going to Indiana. Yeah. You're there, and this whole thing birthed out of you. Tell us about some of the upcoming filming, because you said that you were actually going to film this out in Indiana. And some of our friends are going to be a part of it. So tell us kind of what are the ideas and where does the inspiration come from that?
Yeah, sure. So we're actually filming it in my hometown. My family is, gosh, they're amazing. They're very supportive in what I do. And so they're actually helping me with locations, scouting, because, you know, I'm not there physically. My mom's such a trooper. She's so excited to help us. She's like, I'm so excited. I'll just get you guys coffee. And she's so funny. I love her. But, so anyway, we're going to be filming on location at the spots. My family has let us use their homes for filming, and the inspiration for this film is it does pull from the pilot, of course, but it also pulls from this episode in season 5 called Changing Channels, where they're thrown into various TV shows, sitcoms, commercials. But instead of being thrown into those, these sisters are thrown into a horror film. So you're going to see gems from other horror films, like iconic ones, in here. So I would just, anybody who views it and loves horror films, they're going to love this.
Goosebumps. I love it. So break this down for us too, Sammy. Like I said, you wrote this, you're going to produce it, but you said you didn't want to direct. And then and tell us about also too one of our mutual friends, Kelly. She has a supporting role, which is kind of a big role. So tell us a little bit about those characters, why you decided to make those decisions, and kind of the result that you're looking for.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I'll start off with why I didn't want to direct, and that's just because I think most of my better works come from an outside perspective. Like when someone else is pushing me, they can see where I need to go. Because I guess when you're on an internal journey, it's really hard to see kind of where you're at until you're at the finish line. You're like, oh, wow, dang, that was quite the journey. I just didn't realize I was in it. So that's why I'm not directing. But in terms of Kelly and her character, I love her character so much. So her character name is Claire. She's also one of the hunters that the girls meet, and she's helping them, figure out what is happening in northern Indiana. But she plays a huge part at the end. I won't tell you what it is, but it's gonna be shocking. That's all I can say. It's gonna be really shocking.
Yeah. And for those listeners out there who don't know, Kelly is a mutual fan of our or friend of ours that I actually went to Actor Studio of Orange County. She actually introduced me to Sammy, even though we hadn't crossed paths yet. But this role was kind of handcrafted for Kelly, and Kelly's such a sweet person. But she also loves a lot of the dark things like we do.
Before I even wrote the script or even what the character is, I knew immediately Kelly was going to play her. I messaged her before I even started writing. I was like, hey, have you ever seen Supernatural? And she has. She's also a fan. And I was like, I have a role that's perfect for you. And it's something that she's never really done before, but I know that she's so talented that she can do it. Yeah. And she can. Oh my gosh, goosebumps.
Yes. So we're really excited about that. So as we move, and then hopefully we'll have her on the show here soon. So don't worry, guys. So Sammy, tell us a little bit about, some of the filming that you guys have set up, dates. Tell us how, if people want to be a part of this, how they can get involved. I know that you have an Indiegogo coming up if they want to support. So give us all the details on that.
Yeah, sure. So filming is going to take place at the end of June, the last 2 weeks. Again, we're doing it in Indiana. We are setting up an Indiegogo, and then for those who don't know what Indiegogo is, it's kind of like a GoFundMe for like independent projects. So we're going to have perks and everything that you guys can buy and donate to the film and, get a little something out of it. We're going to have like various producing credits. We're going to have enamel pins, shirts, a journal replica that we're going to use in the film. You can actually buy the killer's mask because, again, as I said, it's based in a horror film. So you can buy the killer's mask that's used on set, and we're going to have 2 of those. And then all of these proceeds go into making the film. We're a fan film, so we're nonprofit. So everything goes into the film itself, and then trying to take care of the actors on set, making sure they're comfortable and accommodated, and any materials that we need.
I love it. How cool is that, people? I'm excited. You can get the killer's mask. Holy crap. And so yeah, when is that planning to go into effect? Just so I can make sure that everybody's looped in.
Yeah, of course. March 1st is when it's going to launch.
Got it. So don't worry, guys. We'll link all that up once it becomes available. And then we'll also do some additional posts for it. But if you are a fan of Supernatural, or if you are a fan of any kind of fan films, a fan of Sammy, a fan of me, a fan of the Wave Healing Nation, a fan of Tsunami Healing, or just a fan of supporting people who want their dreams, please make sure that you come out and be a part of it because we are excited to share this with you guys. That being said, I had a lot of ideas. So once this goes live, once we get it filmed, once it's ready to go, we want to hit the circuits. We want to push it out to different conventions, have panels, get to meet with you guys and talk about a lot more of the details coming up. But Sammy, you guys have a trailer coming out not too long from now. Is that correct? As it coming out, I'm sure you said like it'll be in the months earlier before you guys actually start filming.
We have kind of like a concept trailer. We haven't filmed anything yet, so it's basically just going to be like a nice little teaser.
Got it.
But once we film in June, we're going to actually make a full-length trailer for you guys before the viewing, and so you'll get a taste of what it is that you guys are investing in.
There you go, guys. I'm excited. 2023 is going to be a huge year. I'm so grateful to be at the beginning of this, just to play a small part in just showing it to you guys. So Sammy, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I'm so excited to just have you with us today. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And yes, like again, we will link everything so that as things start to come out, as things start to progress, we'll be making sure that you're in the know. Sammy, real quick too, plug yourself everywhere. If people want to find you, get in touch with you, work with you, where are the best places to go? Where can we find you?
Best place would probably be Instagram. It's just sammy.kokola. There's my username on there. It's really easy to find because I'm the only one in the world. So that would be the best place. Just shoot me a message and then we can connect.
Perfect. There you go. Sammy, before I let you go too, we're going to have you back on the show. We're going to talk about a whole lot of other things that we did not get into this time. But real quick, and I ask this to everybody, what kind of thought, idea, hope, wish, prayer, especially coming from someone that is had this thing birth out of them, and you're just following your dreams, what would you like to leave all the people of the Wave Healing Nation with on this episode?
You don't know unless you try. And I learned that after a very long lesson of being nervous or thinking that maybe I wasn't quite adequate enough in doing something so wonderful. But you never know your skills until you actually like go into it. And even if you don't, you can always learn along the way. So that is my advice, is to just go for it and do it and try and see if it's something that you really want to do.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, from the creative professional herself. Sammy, thank you so much. This is such a blast. I'm excited. We have a big year coming up, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, me too. Lots of things planned. Lots of things.
There you go, Wave Healing Nation. We'll link everything up for you. Excited to be back. Great first guest. And make sure when it comes out, you go check out Wayward Sisters. We are out of here. Until the next episode.